So you want to be good at Valorant console. At least that's why I'm assuming you clicked on this video. But where should you start? Don't worry, because in this video, we will be going over all of the key concepts of becoming a good Valorant player. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. The first part of being a good Valorant player is having good aim. It doesn't matter what else you do if you can't shoot people. So the first part of aiming is finding a practice routine. You can practice aiming in deathmatch, team deathmatch, or the practice range, whichever one suits you better. I personally like to use both the range and the other two options for more variety. And in the range, you can do more specific aim-focused drills, while the death matches and team death matches are more broad. So I'm just going to go over a few aim routines that I personally do that help me just improve my aim. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn these practice bots on. How you do that is you go into your settings, and then you have to have your range mode on time trial, and then you just have to turn practice mode on. So if I turn it off, the bots disappear. Turn it on, the bots come back. What you're going to do is you're going to buy a ghost. Now the reason you're going to buy the ghost instead of a classic is because with the classic I can't shoot a single bullet from hipfire. I have to use focus mode to shoot a single shot. And for some people who don't like to use focus mode, the ghost, you don't have to only go into focus mode to shoot single bullet. And the reason we want the ghost is because it's not a one-shot headshot. Like if I shoot this guy, it's going to take 2 shots to kill him. And the reason we want to do that is we're focusing on controlling our aim, right? So we're going to start on one bot, shoot it, flick to the other bot, shoot it, go back to the other one, shoot it, and go back and kill him like that. And you can do focus mode, you can do whatever you want. And you just really want to make sure, I know that was a bad example, but you really want to make sure that you're only shooting when you're right on the bot's head. Now it's okay if you miss your initial flick, just don't panic shoot. Like it's okay if I miss like that, but make sure I just correct myself before I fire. And this will really help me just build control. It's okay to miss sometimes, but really try to minimize it. And then once you get better at this, you can go fast. Now the next part of training your aim is speed. So for speed, what you're going to do is you're going to go in the shop and you're going to buy a Guardian. The reason you want the Guardian is, again, because it's single fire. If I have the Vandal, it's just going to climb me to spray more, and we don't want that for this activity. We want to have smooth, calm aim. And now also what you're going to do is you're going to change your agent. You're going to go to ISO. And the reason we want to go to ISO is because we can use his double tap. It's a right buffer ability. And when we kill a bot, it'll spawn this orb. This will give us more opportunities to shoot targets at different vertical levels so that we can practice our aim all around instead of just side to side, right? So then you can kill these bots, flick to the bots. You can just do one at a time if that's your thing. You can go for more. Like you could, if you want to, you can go like 2 or 3. You can try to hit them all before the timer runs out. You can go as slow or as fast as you want, but it's better to go fast for this one. So just make sure you're not missing all the time. Like still have control, but you can increase the speed a little bit. The next part of aiming in Valorant is called tracking. Now tracking isn't as present in this game as it is in other games, however it is still a very important part to playing Valorant. Now how we're going to practice tracking is we're going to go into our settings, we're going to stay on time trial and turn bot strafing on. Now we don't want all 3 bots moving at the same time because it can get a little confusing, so we're just going to go ahead and start it. And this will only make 1 spawn, and we're going to just practice tracking the spot's movements with our crosshair. Then tracking is good for when opponents are swinging angles. You can react to them if they like go past your crosshair. You can just follow them with it. As you can see, I'm not very good. I hope you can do this better than me. But it's really just about reacting to opponents' movements, because opponents aren't going to be standing still all the time. So you can just keep tracking. You can even shoot it, go to another one, track it for a little bit, shoot it, try not to miss like I did, and just track them and shoot them. And just try not to make any unnecessary overcorrections. The next step to being a good Valorant player is having good movement. Now having good movement in Valorant means that you're able to stop, stay still, and shoot your gun. So you see in the top right how I have a graph that shows shooting error. So when I'm running and gunning, you see that the shooting error lines are blue, but then if I stay still and shoot, they're orange. So those blue lines means that my gun is missing because of movement inaccuracy, but the orange means that it's just gun recoil, and so I either need to stop spraying or control my spray a little bit better. Now if you want to turn that graph on, which you will have to for this next drill, you go to your settings and then you go to stats. All the way at the bottom, shooting error, turn on graph only or show both. Do not use text only, because if you use text only, it just shows you a number and it doesn't show you why you're missing. Like for example, it's just giving me numbers, it's not giving me any extra information. So that's really why we want the graph and not the text. And so for this next, you're going to come in the middle here on this pillar. You're going to go to either side. It doesn't matter. You're just going to start on one side. You're just going to run over to the other side, stop, shoot a bullet, come back to the other side, and just start doing this. Now eventually, as you're practicing this, you're going to start doing it for both sides. Like this. You can even shoot a couple times. Just make sure you're really getting good at the stopping motion. So you see I messed up that time, so my bullet went not where I was aiming. And then as you get better, you can start going faster and faster. And just make sure you're completely stopping before you're shooting. As you can see, it's almost like I'm running back and forth, but I'm still taking the time to stop in my footsteps. One thing I forgot to mention is a concept called counter-strafing. Now what counter-strafing essentially does is it stops your movement early, right? So if I'm moving my stick to the left and I just let go, there's a tiny bit of delay between when I let go and when I actually stop. Now what counter-strafing does is it eliminates this delay by if I move right and I flick my stick back left, my character's going to stop instantly. So I'll just show you the difference. So I move left and I let go versus I move left and I counter-strafe. I stop a lot faster. Now in my opinion, it's personal preference. You don't have to learn it if you don't want to, but if you do, it does save a little bit of time. But you stop almost instantly, so there's really no reason to counter-strafe unless you really just can't get that first bullet down. Like if you're doing something like this, just every time you're shooting, and it's just like hard to get the stopping timing down, I definitely would say counter-strafing will help you. And I rarely use it myself, so it's not something you have to learn, but it can help you. Now the final step in becoming a good Valorant player is combining these two fundamentals. Without aim and without good movement, you're not able to win your gunfights. So what you're going to do is you're going to come behind this pillar, and you're going to practice the stopping again, right, of the coming and stopping, but this time you're going to be aiming at targets. So you're going to come to one side, kill a bot, go back to the other, kill another one. You're just going to go back and forth like this, making sure you're stopping, making sure you're aiming. And it's all about combining your aim with your movement to create results. Another way to practice combining your movement and your aim is to turn bot strafing on. So again, go into your settings, bot strafing, turn that on. And now what you're going to do is you're going to start, eliminate 50. And so the bot's going to move like that. And basically in this drill, you're going to move when the bot moves and stop when the bot stops. Now the purpose of this is helping you, again, track the enemy opponent, but also make yourself a harder target to hit. Because in Valorant, your enemy's not going to be standing still all the time, and you aren't going to be standing still all the time. So you're going to move when the bot moves and stop when the bot stops. That'll look something like this. And when the bot stops, you're going to shoot it. It's just practicing reacting to enemy movement, and this will also help improve your first bullet accuracy, especially if you struggle with hitting those first shots. And you can move the same direction as the bot, or you can move the opposite direction. It's really up to you. If you want to practice one or the other. But I just kind of move whichever way. That just so happens to be the way the bots move. Now the last and the most important part of becoming a Valorant player is having good crosshair placement. Now crosshair placement is keeping your crosshair at head height at all times. So you want to do this because most guns one shot or two shot the head, and so instead of shooting 4 times in the body, we shoot them once or twice in the head. It just makes faster kills, easier kills. Now these boxes here are what I call head height indicators, because the tops of these boxes are actually where head height is. So if I go over here, as you can see, top of the box, head height, smooth transition, easy kill, and it's just really easy to get these kills if you keep your crosshair at the top of the boxes around the map. Now a good way to practice this is actually using the deathmatch. So these clips are just examples of keeping my crosshair head height. I know it's not perfect, but still, just keeping your crosshair at head level. And then back into the custom game, if you want to use that, just again keep your crosshair at the top of the box and then just run around the map. Just like asking yourself, is this head height? Am I aiming at head height? And then in death matches, one thing I'd suggest if you don't have any boxes near you, like as you can see, I used the box right there. Like keep your crosshair higher than you think you should. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, as it'll really help this channel grow. That's all. See ya.